Hey everyone, Nescodes here. This is the fourth devlog of the still unnamed game I'm developing in Godot. This devlog is all about the UI. I've been doing a little bit of work off camera, and the work is mainly just setting up some useful methods that will make the UI much easier to make. Right now I have this little inventory from last time, and if you notice, if I click on an item and it disappears, and then click on an empty spot fills it. This obviously is not intended behavior, but it's just to show what I can currently do with the methods that I set up before. Regardless, I am going to try to get actually dragging the items from place to place working. Alright, after a bit of coding I got this system working. I also fixed some minor bugs, like picking up items when your inventory is full. Now all that's left is make sure that the item texture is drawn on the mouse so you know what you're dragging. After some work that is also done, now time to draw the hotbar. The plan is that all the items in the top row of your inventory will show up in the hotbar. And after a bit of coding, this is how the hotbar looks. Right now all it does is display the top row items from the inventory. You can't actually do anything with them, so let's add selecting an item. Now as you can see in the output here, the game can tell which item we're selecting. And the plan is this: if the item type is not a tool, then the item will just act like a fist and it'll just have the same stats, just like in Minecraft. And if the item type is a tool, then the item would have its own stats. Anyways, let's add some item animations. After a lot of pain, the item animations are finished. This is how they look right now. Now, as you can see in this clip right here, I used the tree to destroy the tree. Kinda cool if you ask me. Anyways, I know the spear looks like a knife and not a spear, but I will fix that later. I think the plan is this: items have a texture for holding it and also a texture for actually using it. But right now that's not what I'm doing. Also, as you can see, if you break a tree, then go out of the screen, and then the tree actually respawns because of the way I have world generation set up. And that's definitely not what we want. Later we will add a method for the player to replant the tree, so the player doesn't have to worry about running out of resources, but for now we definitely want to delete the trees fully. And if you guys remember Devlog 1, I made a tile set that will be marked specifically for things that are broken, so I do not respawn them. So let's use that tile set in our code. And after some coding that is done, and it seems to be working fine, now let's add some rocks. The plan is to have rocks behave as nodes in Rust. If you ever played Rust, you should know what I mean. Alright, so the rock scene is completed, fairly quickly actually, because it's pretty reusable. Now it is time to actually spawn in the rocks, which may prove a bit of a challenge just because we don't want rocks to spawn where trees do. Now what we can do, and what I will do, is reuse the noise used by the trees, because of the way noise works. As long as these values far apart, that they will be together. Now this implementation is a bit whack and lazy, but it is what it is, and I am pretty lazy. And regardless, let's get to coding this. Okay, so after literally like 5 minutes of work, it actually looks pretty decent. Now rocks currently don't drop anything, but that is because I want them to work a bit differently than normal. The plan is that instead of dropping stuff on break, they actually drop like a rock every like 10% of its health, so like nodes in Rust, and they'll require separate work, so we'll leave the rock stuff for the next devlog. Now I want to finish this devlog with some plans for the channel. Not gonna lie to you guys, I'm sort of losing motivation to keep working on this game because it is getting pretty beefy at this point, and to be honest, I don't know nearly enough about Godot to keep pushing the game, since there's a high chance that I will mess up at some point. So instead I think I'll try my hand at smaller, maybe 2-week games that I complete, and that maybe even you guys can play, and this will make me better at Godot. And I'll also do some other coding videos outside of devlogs, since that was my plan from the start, and I have a plan for a different type of coding video for my next video. I still really like this game though, so I really like how it looks, and I'll definitely return to this game at some point after I'm confident enough in my skills to fully execute the survival game. Regardless, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.